are live today with a solution. I am pleased to announce a solution to our long time problem of solving the how do we have a battery system that generates electricity for renewable energy, because that's one of the issues, is storing the energy from renewable energy from sources like tidal and hydro and wind and so on. And we've done it. Well, as a collaboration we've done it. The truth is, I'm just going to go to my thing, here we are. The truth is, I woke up last night at 2 o'clock in the morning-ish. Ping! I've got it. I know how to do it, as is common for me. And I left myself a WhatsApp message for the morning. Like, this is what you need. This is how it's going to work, I think. Try this in the morning. Good luck. Back to sleep. And when I woke up this morning, I tried it and it works. So I'm going to take you through the solution, because we have been struggling now for about nine separate streams with this concept of a battery for renewable energy, and we've really struggled. So without further ado, let me introduce how we've done it. And if you're with me on the stream this morning, say hi, because I haven't we've been followed by so many people and I haven't been able to say hi to everyone. I know that Gurpreet comes in regularly, Neri comes in and helps us, we've had Jake with us, Oscar likes to come in and help us. We've got Baramok, who's always with us, our Welsh Celtic connection. We've got we quite often have Adam Clark in, and so on. And then we thousands of people over the last 2 weeks that have just come in and watched and not said anything. So say hi if you're in. But I'm just going to call this one my pencil case. Create. I should actually save the pencil case, and the pencil case is things like on player fly, blocks fill with air from 5, 5, minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, 5. And that just means it's in a razor, basically. If I fly along here, this will all disappear. This was one of our attempts to make this happen, and it didn't. We have so many attempts. I also now need to disengage with that, because otherwise I'll destroy things that I didn't mean to destroy. So just to recap, this is the new machine, by the way, but just to recap for everybody who is watching, we are creating a renewable energy toy box. We already have hydropower working. This dam and this fish ladder generates electricity. We haven't got it plugged into the mainframe yet, into the grid, but this generates electricity through a series of systems to do with water pressure and how much pressure we have in this this reservoir. It's just a model. And then what we plan to do is in other parts, like over here we're going to have bio, up here we're going to have wind farm, over on the roof here we're going to have and up on the other, maybe on the other side there actually, we're going to have solar power. And then down here you'll see that we have a system of working with waves. And so the waves, the sea basically comes in and out, and we're trying to look at models for sea water, wave tidal power. And so when the seawater comes in, it moves these little tidal generators and it creates power. However, in all instances, the issue that we're having is that we're not able to store them. The energy just depletes, and it depletes because when it gets into hoppers, and I'll explain why it's in hoppers in a second, but because we're creating models for students in schools, we have to be able to create systems. I'm just going to pull this beach back a bit. We have to be able to create systems that are understood to be what they are through modeling only. I mean, we can have the sea, but we had to model the sea. And the way we did that was to have the sea being, you'll see it in a second, there we are. It gets spilled out of these dispensers, and then it gets emptied by the next one. And then this one will make the tide come in, and then this one will make the tide come out. And it took us a while to get that right and get it on the timer. It's Evil Virus watching on Mixer says hi, it's Evil Virus. So that's how we made the tide. The only problem was we then made a machine that registers whether or not the tide is coming in and generates an electrical pulse based on that, but doesn't actually store it so that when we get to the top, we ended up with endless energy, which is not true. What I want is a battery that depletes if the tide goes out and stays out. Say we have somebody builds a dam, for example, and just stops that particular piece of tide, or the tides are changed, or the waves just aren't that big at that time of year, for example. What we end up with is we end up with a depletion in the electricity here. And so we're not entirely sure, or haven't been entirely sure how to do that. And we made a number of different machines, which I'm just cleaning up here, because finally, last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, I realized what it was I needed to do. And so what you'll notice is, in fact, let me just go back and, so we'll start over here. Ignoring this side, imagine this side didn't exist before. What we were doing was we were creating a wave system. So if I just switch this on, you'll see that the car changes onto the next track. And what happens is we get the waves. The red stone is the waves. And those waves are dropping kilowatts of energy represented by leaves. Each one of these is a kilowatt of energy. And it puts that little kilowatt of energy, each one, all the way along, shoots them into these droppers. And the droppers shoot down and they pile up until eventually they end up in the bottom, and it's this that is the battery. So you'll see here that the longer this goes on, this last hopper becomes the battery. And what happens is this comparator regulates how much energy is being stored in here. So we've now got quite a lot of energy in here, and you'll see that it's climbing closer and closer and closer to here. Now we could shorten that. I'm just making a point. In fact, let's just shorten it. Let's just shorten it to here. So now we have energy, which we didn't before. The problem was we couldn't stop it, even if we stopped the minecart. So I'm just going to stop the minecart. Up. The problem was we then ended up with this constant source of energy, because right now that's just sitting there. Now, if we put a chest underneath, let me just do this way. Doesn't really matter. It starts to deplete, and by definition, this runs out, which is what we want, right? This is what we want. And so this is working. There we go. We've lost energy because the battery is now depleting. And so that's nice. I'm just kind of like, and we can decorate this to look like a battery later. We can say, just hypothetically, we can get some trapdoors, because otherwise it's a hopper like any other. But what we could do is we could get trapdoors and say that, oh, we can't do it that way, or that way, or that way. But we could just have it marked on this side as our battery, or we could put slates on the side to say, this is our battery. But you'll see there that it's now almost gone, and eventually the battery will deplete down to, this is going to disappear now, nothing. There we are. We're entirely out of battery. The problem is, if I leave that chest there, and I do this again, so let's just get our minecart, because that was great. We'd proved the method, and we'd said this works. But if I do this, and just take, actually, let me just get rid of that for a second. I want to just copy, because I need to take this out. Copy all, copy. There we are. So let's just put the minecart back on and have it doing that. The problem is, with a chest below it, automatically, it never generates power. It just flashes on and off, because here's what's happening. Because the chest is below it, it automatically fills up by a little amount. In fact, not even in this case. Why is it doing that? Ah, hang on. I need to get rid of that. Let me switch that on and do it there. And I think maybe this is switching that. Yeah, that's because of that. I get it. It's only if that's attached to... So let's take these off just now. There we are. There we are. Right. So with that down below it, you'll see there that it fills up and then it disappears. It might even get to 2 or 3, but it's disappeared, disappeared, disappeared. So the battery's not filling up because the chest is automatically swallowing the energy, which means the energy never ever reaches the light bulb. So it was losing energy too fast. And so what I did, I just get rid of this, pop, and put that there with the instructions in it. I did the following. I realized that we needed a way to stop the waves. And so in order to do that, otherwise it's perpetual, and maybe the wave, maybe you know, the tide comes in, the tide goes out. Maybe we don't have waves this day. So what I did was I changed a way of making sure that we have an on, and you'll notice when I do this, watch what happens to that. That can change the way that a track moves. So we can, as it comes round here, we can tell it to go that way instead. But we also needed a second one to take it onto a separate route. Otherwise it would have gone down here. Actually, that, yeah. We needed to close the loop. Otherwise it would have just kept going round and doing like a figure of 8. And so what we did was we gave it 2. So on, off, and this takes it to a route that does nothing. It just goes round and round and round. And it's at this point, ignoring that one. In fact, no, it was that one. Otherwise we end up switching here, so we can't have that there. So let me get a rail. So with a detector rail, we're able to make a command block do something. And this command block says clone this location to this location into here. And that's this location. So now I can remove the chest. This one's not needed actually. Get rid of that one. I can remove the chest so there's nothing underneath it, which means if it took a longer route it would... no, we tried that. We actually tried that virus, and what we did was we had a huge route which went the whole length of the toy box, and it still didn't work. There wasn't enough being fed. It didn't matter how big I mean, you'd probably have to make it huge and have ticking areas to keep it going. Because the other thing is the toy box is too big, so you have to make ticking areas to keep the tracks going, and I needed to make it smaller. So here's what we did. This one, when we're off, when the tide is off, it clones a chest, which empties. But otherwise, if it doesn't clone a chest, so let me just switch it on. If it doesn't clone a chest, what it does is this one clones air. So this one clones this space here, which is air, which means we end up with a build-up in the battery. So the battery's getting built up all this time by the waves, each kilowatt of energy. But, and that will eventually light the thing up. So let's do it. Let's do it slowly. And this is checking constantly and saying, hang on a minute, there's nothing for me to unfill, because this is the little bit that Neri, one of our other viewers, gave us. He was like, oh, you need something that says, and now empty. But it was still emptying automatically, and we couldn't work out how to make it not do it. So let's just get energy to our light bulbs. So now, as long as the machine is on, it is constantly making air down there, and it is constantly making the waves generate electricity, which means any minute now we get electricity. Now I'm just going to let that build up. So we're going to end up with, let's just keep building up the energy. So this is great. Wave energy, constantly building up energy, which is sent to the grid, which is then spent. The issue is, however, when I now switch the machine off, and I wait now and now, the machine will now switch off, so the tide stops coming in, and you'll notice that a chest has been placed under here by this command block, which means we're now emptying our battery. And over time, the tide is no longer in, the waves are no longer working, and over time we will end up with a battery depletion, which will mean that our light should go out. There we go. So we've ended up with it, and that's just simply because we needed an on and off switch. Now we could automate the on and off switch to create tidal systems, but I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to just back on, which means when the tide comes in, our machine switches and creates another power system. And we start going up again. So what was missing, Baramok, who's tuned in on Twitch, Baramok's been helping me out with this. What was missing, Barry, of all the tools that we made and all the things that you sent me and all the things that Neri suggested, was what we were missing was, I feel, was that we were missing, well, first of all, two core things. This had to act as the battery without a chest below it, which was, well, how do we get a chest in when we want one? And therefore we had to create a trigger for when we want one. When we want one is when the tide goes out. When there's no longer wave power is when we want a chest to appear, and when and the power will go down. When we don't want a chest to be there is when the tide is in, because we want to generate. So it was a switch that I had to make in my head, which I made at 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday and sent myself a WhatsApp message. I was like, this is what you need to do in the morning. This happens to me all the time though. There's so many times I'm lying at night staring at the midnight cinema that is the ceiling, and I was just like, I get it, this is what I have to do. Now, I have two choices. I run upstairs and I make it happen and lose sleep and health, or I send myself a message, which is what I do. It's a thing of beauty, Baramok, right? Air, chest. Air, chest. Battery on, battery off. Let's just see that happen. There we go, chest's gone. Battery starts to generate electricity again. So now what I need to do is take this model and replicate it in the actual machine, because this is not the machine. So what I need to do is replicate this. Now this is not going to be these are going to be separate. They look the same on this machine, but they're not. The tracks are going to have to be down at the back there for a separate track, and the other section, this section here, is going to have to be underneath the actual machine. Set his first loop, reset his second loop of carts. Love it. Yeah, absolutely. It just, and it defied us for like 9 streams. And it was actually annoying me. That's why I took a break, because I was like, I'm just going on these streams and we're just going around in circles and the people must be getting bored. Or maybe not, but it's dangerous to kind of go over the same thing. But nice one. I like that. Virus says, if anything, I'm learning more here than I did at school. That is exactly why I'm doing it. Virus, this is what we do. We teach using Minecraft. We have worlds on conservation, energy consumption, the refugee crisis, maths, science, literacy, art. That's all we do, is use Minecraft to teach. And we love it. Why am I not picking all of that up? Oh, it's because it's still firing it because of the waves. So here's our wave machine. As the waves come in, let me just double check they're doing that. And as the waves go out, because that's the whole point. Wave machines don't just work when waves come in, they work because of waves. So we're going to get an in and we're going to get an out. And so we've got the principle of the machine. And the great thing is this just tells it to clone a new set every time. Oh, there it is. That's the set that it's cloning. So it's constantly cloning a set. So we'll never actually run out of kilowatts to put in to these. Rather than having these ones that are full, you'll notice that I've filled these up and they're like super full. We don't need that. We just need one constantly recurring set of kilowatts of energy. And it doesn't have to be leaves, it could be anything. And when this hits here, it clones this into each of those locations. They've all got their own. And when this hits here, it tells it to release one of those kilowatts as energy. And so what we now need to do is go under. I'm just gonna block, just for the sake of the exercise. I'm just going to block the observer blocks so that we can continue without all of this spitting out stuff at us. And ultimately our goal is to get energy to the civilization at the top, the little town or the village or whatever. And I think we've done it. Pekka. Pekka's in from Finland to see us in our glory. Now, what happens is this becomes our battery. So we now don't need to worry about having a dip. What I might actually do is just put a second one in, just so that we do end up with, let's see if that's working. That should be spilling in, yeah. So we end up with just like a, because I don't need a third. There we go. Oops. Oh, that's not right. That needs to be there. Whoops, no. Come on now. There. That's it. Okay. Which should, because we've got enough energy, give us our light bulb at the top. But it should always give us our light bulb, and that was the issue before. We weren't creating a renewable system, we were or a battery system. We were just creating there'll be a few waves and then we'll have energy forever. And that's not true. And so, I need to go back. I'm going to have to constantly go back and see what this looks like. So first things first, let's give ourselves a opposite. I am going to put, actually it's not opposite, it's part of the same thing, isn't it? So I'm going to put a command block in there. No. What am I doing? It's always, the command block should always be, because it comes from the same thing here. And that command block, I'm going to have to give myself another one. Give at p command block should be, I've already got one, I just put it in a different place. Right. Oh, call it set. Right, okay, yes. Right, based on yesterday's. So we'll call that one set. Or actually, you know what we'll do? We'll call that, because this is the one where it, yeah. Battery fill. That's what I'm going to call that one. That's the battery fill one, because that's the one that makes air appear at X locations. Actually, this is going to have to be, hang on a second, I'm going to have to do this a particular way. I'll tell you why. It's going to have to be that way, and then we're going to need how many more of these? So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to need 6 more. And remember yesterday in our command block stream we did chain commands. So we're going to have to do that. So let me just, I'm going to have to give myself a platform to walk on. Hang on. There we are, just so that I can hold shift and place these in. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make each of these a chain. Because they're going to chain to the next one and tell it what to do at the separate locations. That's all. It's only because we have multiple locations and I don't know how to do, I don't know if you can do multiple in one. So first things first, we're going to get ourselves an air block, which we're going to assume is bang opposite here, just so we can keep it in line. It doesn't really matter because this has got a tick, they've both got tick boxes in them, remember? So this, I'm just going to take this location in. This location is 8936 minus 206. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do in there and say clone 8936 minus 206. Oops, and we're going to do that again because it's the same location, 8936 minus 206. And then we have to work out where that goes in. That airdrop is going to get cloned in, and it's below, isn't it? So let me take these out just now. It's here. This is where the air block has to go because this is where the chest will go. So that is chest 1 is 7232 minus 149. And then let me just get a pattern, because there's always a pattern. Let me just get rid of those two just now. And that is 72 32 72 32 146, and therefore 143, and therefore, hang on, I'm making room on my whiteboard, 140, 137, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 134. That gives us them all. Let me just double check. If I go, I'm going to get rid of these anyway. Yeah, 143, 140. I'll maybe calculate 137, 134. Oh, there was one extra. Look at that. 131. So 131. And then we're going to put hoppers back in. Condition on the, let me go into the command block. I'll go in here. You know what? I'm not sure. I've never used conditional. I've only ever used unconditional. Somebody said something to me yesterday when they were on the stream. I think it was Oscar. Oscar's normally with us, and he calls himself a command block god. But he told me what conditional means, but it was something I've never used, and so I'm not sure, honestly. Now, I don't really mind that there's stone in there, because when we run the command, it will be replaced by what we want it to be replaced by. So I just want to, and it just allows me to then put my hoppers in. If I can now get hoppers, there they are. I think I just clear out my inventory once in a while, huh? The reason this is so tricky is because you've got to hold shift to put a hopper on top of a hopper. So I'm just... Okay. So we're almost creating this, so you can see now that we're at this stage now where we have the hoppers coming down, we have the battery coming out. Now we're going to have to create one of these for each of them. And I'm not sure how we go about doing that. So let me see if we can do this. I think it has to be the side. And I'm wondering if we're about to... So let me see how that works. So that is that comes out the side. Then it's immediately one of these. Then some redstone. And then some cobblestone and a torch that just basically doubles back on itself. I don't think we're going to have enough room for that. Oh, we might. We actually might. No, we're not. Ah! Because this is, it's integral that is there, and then we can't have redstone running from that. Oh no, no, we can. The redstone has to come out the end. So our reset is going to cause us an issue. Okay, so I'm going to save and exit, and I'm going to do a little something on MC Edit. I'm going to push the whole thing back and make it wider, but I need to do that on MC Edit, so bear with me. Let's get MC Edit up and running. We're almost there. It's just designing it. It's just making the right space, everyone. Come on, MC Edit. You know you want to start. Just takes its time sometimes. open Minecraft worlds, the last one that was opened, level.dat. Okay, let's see, there we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, it doesn't really matter how I do this because I just need to take that machine and I'll take it, I need to go deeper, so maybe 1, 2, 3, let's go 3 deep, yeah? I think it was 3 deep. Let's make it 4 just in case, doesn't really matter. There we are, 4 deep. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to go nudge and we're going to nudge it back. And let's nudge it back 1 more. So we end up with this gap. I can fill that gap manually later. Virus Education Edition is not free. You need to have an Office 365 Edu account. So when I do this, I tend to be speaking to either students who already have that or teachers who definitely know that they have this, this particular version. That said, right now Microsoft are making sure that if anyone has an Edu account at all, it's free through to July because of the whole virus and remote learning thing. And so we just need to make sure. You might want to ask, I don't know if you have it already, if you know you have an Office 365 account at school, or if you're you know, you're in a college or you're in a university or you're a parent, because I don't know who you are, and so we can you can ask about that for sure. And then if you have a standard Office 365 account, that said, you can download it for free and you can use an Office 365 Edu account to log in. You used to be able to log in using just trial. You could have like 25 trial logins using an Office 365 account, but for the moment it's free for everyone if you have an Edu account, if you're linked to a school or something. And the website for that is education.minecraft.net. So check that out and see if you can figure out what's going on there for your particular situation. It just means that our machine is kind of back a bit against the tide, but that's okay. And then we'll fill that out later. And then what that means is we can do is we can take, let me just work this out. Let me take from the side and go, we probably have to move that along, right? Because otherwise we're going to lose our waves by the time we stretch this out. So actually, we're going to have to take it all and we're going to have to move it along. Let's see, how many do I need? I need to buy myself 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I need to buy myself 14. So let's just do that. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that's not bad actually, that it's in underneath the mountain. I don't mind that. And then we can fill that out with stone. In fact, let's just do that now. Let's just take this up to maybe here and say fill with stone fill. And then let's just fill the rest up. Actually, I'll take that and fill it with stone. Fill stone. And then deselect. I hate when it does that. Deselect. Let's just have one more there filled with stone. Whoops. And then the rest will fill with air. So what I'll do is I'll just take it from there to like there and say fill with sand. And then we'll also do that, fill sand. Okay. And then we're gonna, there was no need to do that actually at that stage because I need to take the machine from there to there and then go 1, 2, 3, let's just go that far down, and then we're going to take it up to there and we're going to give ourselves 1, 2. Then we're going to do the same there. 1, 2. Then we're going to do the same there. And this will be the 14 that we're trying to buy ourselves back. And then you can see this is a lot quicker than having to do that manually. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to deselect. That's it. I didn't need the 14 actually. I only needed that. It makes our machine much larger, but it's okay because now that we've moved it back, it means that we're not relying on those exact points of wave. We're getting any water against the back wall will work. I'm just going to fix this up a bit better. I'm going to say fill with brick. Am I missing stone bricks? There we are. Okay, fill. I can fill the little bits out at the end, and then I can also take this and say push that back one and back into there and say replace. So then let's just do, rather than fill, and we can, I mean, we can see if it works when we go on, but we'll do replace. Let's swap these first. So let's replace air with stone, just standard stone. Right, save. Let's go see what that looks like. Yeah, Virus asks, is this kind of like a turbine? Yeah, that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to recreate a system that says when we have wave power, we have energy. When we have biomass power, which we've already modeled in a previous stream, we have energy. When we have hydroelectric dams, we have energy, so on, so on, so on. And so we're basically trying to show, and wind power as well, we're trying to show what that looks like. So I'll just log back into Minecraft Education Edition. Yes, exactly, Barry. We'll need to remap coordinates, which is a pain, but it's okay. I'll they're going to be on the same, roughly the same coordinates. I'll just work out what the end one was. So I'm just logging in. Give me a second. That said, Virus, you can do all of this in standard Minecraft. So, you know, I'm only showing you this because I want my my community and my clients to use Minecraft Education Edition. But you can do what I'm doing right now, i.e. renewable energy, you can do with Java or Bedrock. Because I'd hate to think that anyone thought they couldn't do renewable energy because they didn't have Education Edition. That's not true. Right, we're still getting some sort of, so we've just given ourselves more room and we're still getting, oops. That feels better as well. It was a bit crowded, I think, before. So let's go in. So we're still getting the same. I'm just going to block these off so that we don't end up with. Here we are. It's just a bigger machine, and when we put a roof on it, it won't matter that it's under the mountain. Okay. This is crazy, right? So now we just need to remap the coordinates, which is fine because all I need to know is that it's the 163 it starts on this time. So minus 163. And then the next one would be 158. So it's 5 a time. So that's easy. 38, 38, 38, surely. Yeah, 153 was the next one. So therefore 148, yeah, so that's easy. 148, 143, 138, 133. Let's just double check that. What's the last one? 133, yeah, perfect. Right, okay, we got it. And then we were going to build this, weren't we? This little system that says double check, and then I'll have to build one at the side here, and we'll just build a little annex on for this one. There we are. And then let's try this. So then we have redstone. I just want to make sure they're all built with stone. And that redstone goes back on itself. Do you remember we did that? Let's, you know what? Okay, 1, 2, 3, which then leads to there, and then at the back of that, we need, I'm just going to have to knock this out for the moment, at the back of that we need our torch. And it's that that tells us whether or not that gets emptied. If there was a chest there right now, that would be getting emptied, which is fantastic. So that works. So now we need to do the same here. No, that's right. Ooh, don't tell me I've not done it enough. So that's there. Then I need my... Oh, I don't need one there. That's good. No, that's good. I didn't need one there. Right, okay. Ooh, I thought I'd miscalculated my maths there, which is not uncommon. That doesn't need anything under it, but I'm just going to do that anyway. We can build all of this back up, which is fine. Same here, we just build all of that. That bit tells it to empty. So I'll show you what happens over here, Barry. Barry's saying, what does that bit do? If I take this bit out and then put a chest under there, you'll see how this is full and it's not emptying because there's not a chest under there. If I put a chest under there, whoops, I'm always doing that. If I put a chest under there and do that, oops, that's because the thing's still running. That's because my machine is too effective. Pop. I put a chest under there. Oh, it does still open. It does still empty. You mean I don't need that bit? I thought I needed that bit. I don't need that bit. I was convinced I needed that bit. What's going on? No, I'm sure there's a reason I need that bit. I'm sure if I put a chest in there now... Hi, Accusing Barrett. Welcome. We're trying to work out how to make a renewable energy system using tidal power. And so far we've made the tide work. We just have a machine that now needs to... So I don't need that bit. Does it empty if I stop the loop? What do you mean stop the loop? You mean, because previously that was there and that was there, which then goes up. So let me see. Yeah, it's still emptying. If I stop the loop by getting rid of, say, that, for example. Ah, it stopped emptying. Yeah. So see, it's not emptying anymore. Even the top one there, or the top one there, or even that one there. Whichever one of these is emptying first. Yeah, none of them are emptying now. So I'm not sure why. Remember Neri gave us this and said you need this. If I do that, but get rid of that torch, so it seems to need that comparator to tell it to empty. This must just be to tell it to stop emptying when there's nothing left. I'm not sure. But it's necessary. It's the adjacent redstone, maybe. You mean like that one? Yeah, if I break the redstone, it stops emptying. So this somehow tells that to empty into there, which is what we want, right? I mean, that's really important. So I'm gonna leave it in. I don't fully understand what it's for, but I'm gonna leave it in because I think it's the thing that says empty this into the chest that we know will appear at the bottom. And I'm going to leave these open just now just so we can make sure that we've done it all correctly. So we need whoops. Oh no, that's okay. I can just, we're going to have to change them anyway, so that's fine. There we are, and then put that torch there. And then we're going to need comparator, redstone repeater, redstone, and then fill in the gaps. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll go down and do that. That's it. And then here we need comparator, repeater, redstone, redstone, redstone. Yeah, we did. I'm glad we need that. Yeah, listen, keep asking questions, Barry, because you know what? I maybe didn't need that. I mean, for all we know, it turns out I did, but I maybe didn't need that, and because of the system we'd invented, it might have become defunct. So it's always worth looking at those things. And then again, our system for in here is comparator, repeater. Here we go. All of my streams are being broadcast on 5 separate PCs. Just while I'm making this, I might as well tell everyone. It's going straight to YouTube. It's going straight to Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and Mixer. And you can always visit youtube.com/c/immersive minds to check out everything we've done so far. Yesterday was command blocks, for example. We've also done the natural world and furniture and aesthetics and the chemistry update and all sorts of amazing stuff. So check it out on youtube.com/c/immersive minds. Give me a follow, give me a subscribe, and you can stay up to date with all of the stuff that we're trying to work out how to do. Last one, right, great. So and right now we're trying to do renewable energy, and you can follow our journey on YouTube. This has actually been a really long journey. This is like 9 streams just trying to make the wave systems happen and the machines that capture the wave as energy happen and so on. So this is a really nice journey in that sort of that thinking. And then last one. And working together as a community. We're all about building community. Oh, I've already done that. That's great. And having people work with us and understand what it is that we're trying to do. It's all about learning and learning together. Okay, I can just do that because they were all meant to join anyway. that's going to get us to there. That's going to get us. It then goes out to there, and then I'll just have to, I've already made my tunnel over here, so I think what I'll do is I'll make this one, because there's our tunnel that then leads to our light bulb, and I'll take this one away. There we go, they can all be closed spaces. Okay, I'll fix that later. But in the meantime, we have our machines. Now what I need to do is go in here and just make sure that these are all set to -163. And actually I'm going to copy all of that, because I got rid of one earlier, which I shouldn't have. -158. It was this one, wasn't it? So that one should be -153, -148, -143, -138, -133. Okay. And what that says is, let me just double check this. Clone 8963 into, yeah, that was fine. Okay, into that. And I wanted to go back and get the original. I know, I got them. So that means we are going to clone at this location. We're going to clone, now this is this fill up, so that's air. We're going to clone air, which is, what did we say it was? It was this one. It was this block here. That block, which is now air, is going to be cloned in to each of the locations that I gave there, but each one of these has to create a chain. And so I'm going to put the first one in, which is 7232 -163. Then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to chain it with all of the other ones. And then that's going to be 6358. And that's going to be 53, 48, 43, 38, 33. Whoops. Okay. And that should be working now. So if I go back here and put something in there, like oh, it's not 74. Oh, I'm in danger actually of doing something stupid. It's not, it's, you're right, Barry, I should have mapped these, I should have remapped these. So that's 7434. So there's air appearing somewhere. So that's 7434. But it's not, it's 32, isn't it? That's the whole point, is that we need to go 30. So 34, 33, or 35, 34, 33, 32. Yeah, so it's 32. So it's 32. Because when you fall into that, it kind of, that hopper, it gives you the right, it gives you its address. It's so it's 74, 32, and then all of the 148s. So let's just double check what I put in. I think I put in something entirely wrong. Yes, 72, but it needs to be 74. And then that's going to be 74. Okay, so that should be cloning air below why isn't that happening? There should be air appearing under there, not stone. It's not happening on any of them. That's okay, just going to check it out. It's got nothing to do with the waves, of course. It's just whether or not this is doing it. So the last command block in the plant has an arrow, not a circle. Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. That just means because either it's basically this one. Oh, is it because it's not? No, the second one has to be a chain. I wonder if I make them all. No, but it's not even happening on the first. Is it happening on the first? Let me see if this is happening on the first. Because the first one would be this one, right? Yeah, there's air under that one. So it's the chains that aren't working. There's air under the first one. So maybe it's because I haven't made it a chain. Maybe I've told it not to go to the next one. So let's make it a chain and see if that then chains to the next. No, none of those are working. What are you saying to me, Barry? No, in the plant, I mean, different issue. Oh, right, so what is it you do? The last command block in the plant? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that one. No, it still works. Because it's on its own. Remember yesterday, I don't know if you saw our command block one yesterday, but Oscar was telling us it doesn't matter which way it's placed if it's on its own. It's if you want it to interact with others that this becomes an issue. I mean, it would be good practice to have it one way. So how come we're getting air under the first one? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do something real quick. I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to plant a chest under there and see if it disappears. See, that's not empty and we're going to need that to empty eventually. But right now the chest's not disappearing. And so that suggests to me that this is wrong. Actually, that's the first one there, eh? Yeah, the chest's gone. So the first command block is working. Why is it not chaining to the next? That's what I want. That's what I need to know. That is triggering this, and then it's not chaining to the next. What have I done? Chain, unconditional, always active. That's what it is. That's what it is. Do you remember yesterday Oscar said they should always, chains should always be active, because otherwise they need redstone and they're not getting redstone, they're getting a command, and so they're not getting redstone. So this should now, there we are, clear, 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 clear. Right, okay, we've done it. Right, which means, good, that was what it was. So let's just double check that and make sure everybody knows what we're doing. So this is chain, unconditional, always active, no delay. Let's just get that done, right? So every time this goes over and does this, then what I need it to do is I need a switch off, which I think I'm going to make down the other side. I think the switch off should be here, which takes it to the next strand. Let me get my thinking head around this, rather than at the same side, because at the same side you run the risk of it doing something, then switching off, rather than just switching off down this side. So what I really need is that switch that we made. So I'm just going to make this switch the same. Doesn't really matter, but it's just for neatness, and we can box this in later. And then we can have our that's it. head bursts with this stuff, but it's so good to do. I love all this thinking. It's exhausting, mind. So this is our redundant track. This is our off track, and our off switch is here. So I'm going to put a lever there and a lever there. And I'm going to do that and that. They have to be faced because that's what's going to make it switch to the next track, but I don't really need it to be on the next track yet. So what we're just going to do is we'll do power rails in a second. I just want to get my corners and my straights correct. There we are. Then we'll do power rails. And then we'll get torches in here. Let's just make it easy. Whey! Oh, did I get it right? Nah, look at that. I put 2 in there. And 1 extra there. And 1 extra there. I did an extra along them all. Look at that. Right, okay, that's good. Right, so we've got our power rails up. Which means now we can just run our rails. Let me see which way it goes. Yeah, it's just going to keep going. How come I got that wrong? I know why. That's it. So then that's going to go and catch up. Okay, that's it. That's us. I just hadn't placed it properly. So we can do that. And we can either leave our tide in or out. It doesn't really matter. But we can run. So that's that. And then what we need is at the other side, we need to replicate the chest issue. We only need to, it doesn't really matter how. So I'm going to do that up here just so that we've got it, because I'm basically going to copy the same system. So I'm going to take the same system over this side, up to there. I'm then going to take the same and I'm then going to take this and we're going to put a chest on here. Everybody following this? And I'm going to put the chest that way just simply because it is in line with the machine. Everybody following this? I'm barely following this. Now, at this point, we need to take all and copy and then put it into here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this location instead. So I'm going to take, what is that? Whoops. Drop my pen. 9336 minus 206. Okay. Then we're going to put a chest on there. And then we'll put this in. We're just going to 93. This is our first set, remember. 36 minus 206. 93. 36 minus 206. And really, what this should now do is we should have chain always active. Let me just do this first before I put anything in it. Okay, and then for this one, and it's basically the same here. So it's 63.58, 53. Hi Lynn, great to have you on. We've mastered it. 53, did I do that? Or was that 50? That was 53. So that has to be 48. 43. This has been bugging us for days as a community, and we finally got it. That's going to be 38, and that's going to be 33. So now our tide should be coming in. No, it shouldn't, because I've got it switched off, right? I've got it switched off. So I want to go over to here, and I want to go switch on. I'll put a sign up there in a minute. But what we should now end up with is we should end up with a tide coming in, which then creates, if I unblock these, which should create a system which fills up these batteries. These are our batteries. There should be 13 going in there in a minute, 14 and so on. And that will eventually create an energy system. And I think what I'm going to have to do is do one of those there. Because that's going to be enough to push. Oh yeah, it is. So that's going to be enough to take the link. The main thing is the closest one that's here. Again, this is where I think we needed an AND gate rather than a... I think this needed to be... I still think we need to run these into an AND gate. Otherwise, we just end up with redstone everywhere. I need to do that just so we create a barrier so that we don't waste electricity. Although there is electricity wastage, I guess. But if we do that, we at least create a little barrier to that wastage. Oh no. Why is that appearing? Why am I... Is that because of this? No, it can't be. That's because of that. And we're not getting that filled up again. And that's because of these. No, it can't be. Oh, it's because that's in the wrong place. Look. So now we need to figure out where that is. So that is 79... Wow. 7936 minus 164. That's going to have to be the same in all of these. 79 35 1 164. Oh no. You know what? Keep doing that. There. Let's put that in. And then what was that? That was 79, 35, 164. That will always be the same. The problem with this one is it's 163. It needs to be 158. There we are. You know what's easier? Is if I just delete all of this and do the last number again. Rather than doing the three numbers. So it's 158, 153. 140. 43. 138. Whoops. And then 133 at this side. Okay. That should now whoops. That's not, what's going on there? I've done something way wrong. Look at this. Oh man. I've done it so badly. Right, okay. So let's just block these off until I get my numbers right. It only takes one digit. One digit. I think I cloned them by accident using this, yeah. So I'm cloning, let me just get this right. I'm cloning, what, 79, 36, 164. What did I do? 79, well, 35, 164 into those locations. I don't understand why I've... we were almost there. I hate when that happens. You're so close. Look at that. That's come in. That shouldn't have. That shouldn't be there. I can't get rid of that. It's like it's not there. That's weird. I basically I've cloned the whole wall. That's what's happened. That's okay. We can work this out. I just don't know quite. It didn't affect that one. Right, let me double check this. Ooh, this is heavy. I know, it's so frustrating. Right, let's have a look. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna just find out what this is. So it's 79, 35 minus 164. I've got that. So I'm going to put a dispenser back in. Then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put my leaves in. That's fine. Okay. And then in here I've said clone 79, 36 minus 164. That's correct. Into, let me just double check that this is meant to be happening because that is then going to be here, right? And that would be 75. Because we've moved the whole thing. Right. Man. So 75, 35 minus 163. And we go from there. The 163, the 158. So that's going to be... So it was always wrong. 75, 35... Nope. 79, 35, 164. It's the last one. So it's 75, 35, 163. So it's, I just need to change these to 75, 35. Or 75, that's all. That's just getting changed to 75. Problem solving 101, right? Yeah, but surely no one wants to watch this though. I mean, like, I wonder that. I wonder, like, I mean, obviously you guys are in this. It's wonderful that you are, but sometimes I'm like, I'm making nothing but a knacker of this. Like, what? Who wants to watch that? Okay. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. Let's try again. Let's see what happens if I remove just these two. We should end up with a dispenser. Oh, that's because that's in the wrong space. So let me just take this one, all copy. No, we've got a dispenser in the wrong space then. How's that dispenser in the wrong place? What did I... They're all in the wrong place. No, they can't be. But that's effectively copied a whole range. Oh, we got it. Thanks, Virus. I'm not entirely sure what those things are. Tell me what they are. I don't know. Do that, Lynn. Do stream. We'd love to. Look, I've done it again. I've done the whole wall. I don't understand why it's doing the whole wall when I'm asking it. Right, that and that should be redstone there. Redstone, piston, piston, piston. Reds. I must have something wrong with all of these command blocks, so that's what's wrong. I'm doing something wrong. And that should go, and then that should be a command block, that should be a command block, and that should be a command block. Right, let's model. Let's take away that one and see if this works. If this one works, I just model them all. Right, that works. So what's wrong with... Right, okay, let's try this one. Right, let's try that. That should give me... Oh, right, that works. So now I'm just going to copy all of these in and do 4, 8. Is that... No. 5, 3. And then release and test. Yeah, okay. And then this one, 4, 8. Wow, that should not have taken that long. My apologies to everyone. That's crazy. Okay, we got it. Right. If that one was 4, 8, that one's 4, 3. But I'm just going to take it all out just in case. Pop it back in and say 4, 3. This one, all out. Thanks, Lynn. You take care. It's late where you are. Get some sleep. 3, 8. And I thought I had it right, but there must have been something just wrong and no more. Always double check, triple check, quadruple check your coordinates. Right, so we're back in play, everyone. Right, we got it. Right, we got it. Except that. Why has that just appeared? Oh, that's that weird one that won't go away. Why won't that go away? I can't get rid of it. I can get rid of what's under it. It's like it's not there. I'm going to quit and just, I'm going to save and quit and see if it works. Virus, I'm on UK time. Yeah, that's moving, so that's coming from somewhere. I think it's coming from the first. It can't be. $79 to 79. Because I copied them, right? So it has to be coming from somewhere else. What location is this? Let me see what location this is. I think this is a bug. This location is 73.35.173, and the fact that I can sit in it. I wonder if I do kill at E. No, I didn't. That didn't kill it. Oh, we got a bug. I hate that. I don't know how to kill that. I've also killed, by killing entities, I've killed my my carts. Great. So let's try this. Let's get a cart. And remember, we always set them off at this side, and we go 1, push. Nope. We need that to go the other way. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's just easier on this end if it goes the other way. So we're going to let that one go. and then we're going to push that one. There we go. And that should have we lit that light up yet? Right, no, we can't have. So that's now working, and I'm just going to leave that bug in there. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just going to do that so we've got that wall. I've never seen anything like that. I can stand in it. It's an animation. It's not there. Oh, okay. And then these should be filling up. This should be, yes, constantly 64, constantly 64. So that's good. And then we should end up with, we haven't got light quite yet. Why is that? Are we getting more, or do we? Is it? We've changed the way it works actually. So it might be that we're not getting any more. We'll see, because we seemed the last design. We ended up having to make this. Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more. I think we need to do... Let's give that a second and just see if that goes up any. Yeah, it looks like the repeater's too far just because of the way we designed it. I've got an idea for getting rid of that. Right, so let's just make that happen. And then that goes to there. So that's it. It was just one. It was just four places out. Probably because we moved this from here, and it was there. So that's probably all that was. And it's probably also because that wasn't helping. But anyway, I've got an idea for getting rid of this. I want to go into here. 7330. Let me just write this down. This is rogue 7335 minus 137, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a clone command. Clone, and I'm just going to take this. Actually, let's just take the one next to it. So what would that be? That'd be 73, 35, 136. Yeah, 136. So let's go. Seventy-three, 35, 136. 73, 35, what? And it's minus, isn't it? It's minus 136. Minus 136. Need to get our minuses into 73, 35, 13, minus 137. And then we'll stick a button on that. Thanks for giving me power. I see I got some tacos that time, Virus. I need them. You've moved it so the distance is great. Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought that was it, Baramok. So then I'm going to head to a button. That's what I was doing. I need to keep track. Yay! I cloned it out. Bug testing, right? Ideas. I'm also going to put one of those there and one there, just because I don't want it to have to, like, we are losing electricity at different points and I don't want that. So I'm just cleaning up the machine now. Right. Now let's see what happens when we switch it off, because if I'm correct in saying, everyone, we've built the machine we want. sure that works. Right. And so if I go down to this bottom one, it's storing all that energy. It's sitting at 11, 12, 13. What's the next one at? The next one is sitting at 6. Look how high that one is. Yeah, they should all be roughly the same. And they've got, there we are. They're all roughly the same. And then what I can do is just get rid of that. And that means that we've got power up here in our little house. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to switch the machine off. I'm going to switch the tide off. Let's just make sure that the tide's still coming in and going out. Yeah, so there's our tide. If I now switch this machine off, i.e. have these running onto a separate piece, so I'm just going to go tick, tick. Let's head round now to see, first of all, the tide's going to come in and then stop. I think that's it. Then what's going to happen is chests are going to appear. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Nope, chests haven't appeared. Why? What's going on? Oh, I know why. Because I haven't done a detector rail. So we do a detector rail there. And now what should happen is chests should appear. Ta-da! And then the emptying should begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out. And eventually, let's get up here. Eventually, because the wave power has stopped, tide in or out, it doesn't matter. Preferably tide out, of course. Yay, we lost power! We did it, folks. We did it. So we can build a house up there and we can have power in it. So we've done it. I can get rid of that machine, beautiful though it is. And then down the bottom, we can switch this back on, and I can package all this up later. But right now, I can just package this back on. And let's just do another test and see if, first of all, we should get rid of those chests. Yep, the chests are gone. The waves are now building up again. And we should, let's just do a test, and this will probably take a little bit more time, but we should end up with power because of the waves. I'm just going to do this so we can see what's going on. So the waves are coming in. This is our tidal power, waves in, waves out, which then creates a turbine, a movement. And all we need is movement to turn turbines. That's to generate electricity. That's all we need. That is then giving us, every time those pistons move, they give us 1 kilowatt of energy, and that 1 kilowatt of energy builds up. It's combined, it builds up, it gets sent along the line, and with enough of that energy and enough waves, it's just going to take time. Which I think is true of tidal power. I think you need lots of tidal power. In this case, a length of time with tidal power. When that light bulb goes on, it will be a great victory, and I will stop the stream, and then tonight we'll actually start looking at firming this up as done and move on to, I think, biomass. Let's work out what we want to do with biomass. Welcome, James. Thank you indeed for the follow on Mixer. Thank you. We're just waiting to see, James. If you haven't been following us already for any length of time, we've created a tidal wave machine which generates energy only if the tide is coming in and out, only if we have wave energy, in a toy box designed to look at renewable energy. Now all we're trying to do is work out how we generate enough electricity from this. And we are, it's just whether or not it can get further than here. Do you think that was... What do you think? It's not going any further than there. And so I think we found... I think it was because it had lots of energy in it last time. Mind you, saying that, I've not been exactly patient, have I? What we got in here? Oh, look. That's missing. There we go. That's doing fine. That's doing fine. There's still wasted energy. That shouldn't be there. I want to... We're going to tidy this up and close that in so that they end up just having their little space there. There we go. Are we getting further? No, we're not getting further than there. So that must be... Why is this one not generating power? Look, that's doing its job. But it's not in here. I don't understand why that's not catching. Look, it's not. It's literally... Is that because there's nothing in front of it? Yeah, they're not all lighting up. Why? I'm going to try that. That's not dispensing. When that hits it, it doesn't dispense. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that's not dispensing at all. So why is that not dispensing? No, there's still a torch there. Yeah, there's still a torch there. It's the dispenser that's not dispensing. This one is. Is it? Why are they not dispensing? Oh, hang on. No. That's not dispensing either. So now we've got a dispensing issue. Why is that? That one is. So why is that not? That's really strange, don't you think? I'm just going to replace all the parts. Maybe it's because it feels... I mean, no, that's just not dispensing at all. I want to see if I take something... I see the end one is now. Why is the end one dispensing? It's because it's because the hopper is not in front of it. What if I take away that hopper? What's going on with this one? Check the command block. Clone. Yeah, because it's still... There we are. 63, 64, 63. So that one is now dispensing. It's just not dispensing into anything. So I'll get rid of that just now, just so I can put a white block to get rid of, and then two hoppers. Hopper, hopper. There we are. Now let's see if that's dispensing. Yeah, that's working now. So it just needed a rebuild. I have no idea why. That's weird. That one is not, that one will just not dispense. That one is. Okay, let's figure this out. It's one thing after another, but we can do this. There we go. That started working once I removed something. I just don't know what. it didn't like something. Did you see that there? Right, I removed the torch from there. And therefore I'm going to have to put the torch back. That's working. This one, so that's fixed. This one isn't. I can't work out what's going on. Light up one of the comparators. You mean like there? There. Nah, that's just that little bit at the end doesn't work. It's something to do with these torches. There we are, that one's working now. It's something to do with the torches. It didn't like the redstone torches being... There we go, that one's working now. That's all it was. It was the torches for some reason. Yeah. I wonder if that's a reset. Let me rerun the program. That's not. So it wasn't that. That one's not dispensing and that one's not dispensing. Let's try that. That is just not dispensing. How bizarre. I'm just clearing all of this out so we can see what's going on. That one's working. That one isn't. But it was, wasn't it? Was this one not? This one was working. So what am I doing wrong? That is no longer dispensing. G Handbook, I have no idea. We are trying to build, we had working a tidal system. So when the tide comes in, we can generate electricity and we have a battery system set up so that it stores the energy and then releases the energy when the tide stops. But right now, we are simply having a problem with, in this case, 2, 3 of our dispensers just stopped dispensing. They have stuff in them, but the redstone block is just not dispensing them. And I've no idea why. Oh, right, but if I do that... you know what it is? That's why... right, okay, do you know what it is? Unbelievable. I think that's why Neri had it going down so low. Do you remember I said I couldn't understand why Neri had 3 coming down? I think it's because the torch, when the machine resets, the torch switches. The torch is going up into this block, and it's competing with this redstone. I might be wrong, but I think that's why the torches. When I reset the torches, there we are. That works. But here's an issue. Here's the issue. I think I need to make it 1 less, 1 lower down. So I need to do that. Take that away. Wait for it to... This will work now. There we are. Then put that on and it starts to generate. I think I need to move everything down again. The good thing is I've got them all working at the moment, so let's just test the theory. Because now, yeah, look, now we can get further out there. That's all it was. It had stopped working. And if we get more energy, we just need one more piece of energy, and we will get light bulbs at the top. Tell me that's working. All of these are. All of these are working. And they're all capturing as much energy as possible. Yeah, there we go. So it's worked now. So now when we go to the top, we'll have a light bulb. So it works. I think it's just we need to lower the machine just one. We just need to lower everything. We need 3, just like, so if I go back to the original model that Neri sent, that's why Neri had 3 of those, because he knew that this would upset what was immediately above it, or in this case, my wave machine. He knew that that would upset the wave machine. Which is not difficult, actually. It's just a case of stopping the machine. So we'll go and stop. It's nearly there. It's a torch issue. Right, okay. So we just need to stop the machine. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to take them off of here, because otherwise they'll keep producing they'll keep producing a chest, and I don't want that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the chest lower. So it's 31. And we have to do that on all of these. And then we just add another, whoops, we just add another hopper. So actually, this is the only change we have to make. I mean, as in command block change, because I was thinking, oh no, we're going to have to do all these command block changes again, but we're not. We're only going to have to change where these things appear so that I can then rig it at the other side. And that's just a case of digging a hole one closer to the wall. So quick fix. Actually, yeah, we need to change the whole thing, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it and I'm going to run it through MC Edit. I'm going to move everything down one in MC Edit so that we don't have to do that manually. Whew, right, okay. Thanks, J Handbook. I'm glad you think so. We teach using Minecraft. This is what we do, and we work in 62 countries worldwide, doing everything from renewable energy, mathematics, science, the refugee crisis, you name it, we do it, and we use Minecraft. So these remain. It's actually just here, isn't it? It's just those bits that need to go down. I don't have to remove anything else. Just, I don't need those hoppers to go down. I just need all of that to go nudge shift. And that should give me my stairwell. If I then take this lot along to here and go nudge shift. That gives me my, actually I'm going to have to do that. So let me just undo that and then do that. There we are. In fact, I'm going to need to undo that. I'm going to need all 3 of those. And then I can fix this bit at the end, this bit over here, the connection. I can fix that later. So shift, there we are, that's it. That keeps the redstone constant. So now when we go in, man, this is a headache. Thanks, Virus. Keep me going. What are you giving me this time? A coal fox and a rock. Right, let's just go menu, save, and then we'll go back to Minecraft Education Edition. So let me just go into here and give you this just while I log in. Then we're going to go... Oh, my head hurts sometimes with this. You got a lot of people watching today, over 5 different systems. Just logging in. And then we're going to go boom, boom, play, done, back in. Right, let's see what it's done for us. We should have moved everything down by now. We've told it to generate, we switched the machine off, we've moved it, I thought I'd moved this down. Have I? Have I already moved that down? No. Why didn't any of that save? Although that did. All of this was supposed to go down. Anyway, let's just do it again manually then. Let's just start again. I think I am going to have to change that anyway. So let's just... Wow, this should not... That should have happened in MC Edit. I'm so annoyed by that. Okay, so let's do that, and we know that this, because this should be 31 now. If we go into here, that's 31, right? Okay, so I've got the right space. I'm quite happy with that. What I want, actually, let's just stone it, and then there, that's going to work. And then it's here that I have my... I think I'm going to have to bring this down. This is going to have to be my next step. Because I'm going to need, let's do a clear, and then I'm going to need a comparator. Let's just get all the parts we need. Need a comparator. I need a redstone torch. I need redstone, and I need a redstone repeater. So first comparator is going to be there, second one is going to be there. And then I'm going to need a bit of stone. That's it. See how that's different now? It's different, and I'm actually going to clear all of this out so we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. That. And then a torch there that doesn't affect that redstone. That's what we need to model for all the others. And then we need redstone, redstone, redstone. And then I think we're going to have a repeater there. Whoops. Actually, no, that's fine. I'm just going to do a repeater there. That's what's going to give us our power. It's when it reaches the repeater that it doesn't have any power left. That's a better design than to there. So as long as it has power, we get it to reach a repeater. No, that's not right. We need to know that these are going up until they reach a repeater. It's only when they reach a repeater that they can give us the right amount of power between them. Otherwise, we're cheating by having a repeater there. Right? Am I wrong about that, Baramok? So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to make sure at least they all have at least 5 or 6. So for this one, which we'll now do manually again, we're going to do, let's cut out all of the, whoops, let's cut all of this out and do the design again. Okay, so let's get our third, that's it, and that's going to be first comparator is there. First piece of redstone, 3, 4, 5. That's going to give us the 5 that we need. I'm not convinced about that, you know. I'm not convinced about that at all. I think that needs to be... I'm going to come back to this design in a minute. In the meantime, I'm just going to run this along the side of the wall. I'll put some glass over it later and we can make it neat. In the meantime, let's just have a repeater at the top of each of those pieces. So we're going to have repeater. That doesn't work. That's why I needed. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. I just want to make sure all of these bits are done. So that's going to be there, there, 1, 2, 3, brick, and torch. Okay, let's do this again. Clear all of this out. If I'm being a bit picky about what it looks like, it's just because when I look at it down from above, I want to understand what's happening. I don't want sand where there should be stone or anything like that. There we go. Okay, first comparator there, second one there. That's obviously got some stuff in it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Then a brick. Then a torch. Yeah, that's got stuff in it. If I look at that one, that's got stuff in it, and it's emptying. No, it's filling. It's filling up from there and giving us energy. Okay, next. Next. Okay. Comparator, comparator. Redstone, repeater, brick, torch. We got that right? And that's got nothing in it, so it shouldn't be, yeah, it's got, whereas if I put something in it, that works. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. That's the response I wanted. We're almost there, folks, and then I'll do a test. We'll make sure it's running, and then we're good to go for the next type of energy. Not on this stream, but on tonight's stream. Okay. Third. Comparator. Comparator, redstone, torch. Third, comparator. Oh, a comparator does work when it sits against that. Look at that. It works against that rock, so that's good. Good to know. Torch. And then finally, last one. Whoo, okay. Oh no, it doesn't. It's already electrified. from another source, which is why we need a redstone. See, there's no redstone. That's what we need. Repeater. A repeater also acts as a almost one way in, if you like. There. Right. So let's just get this straight. I am going to have redstone, redstone, torch, repeater, sorry. Then I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to do redstone, repeater. Let's just keep that neat. Yeah. And that repeater blocks the energy from going back in. It's like it stops it from looping itself, which wouldn't work anyway. So then we're going to do the same there. So redstone, energy. Good, okay. Starving. Then we're going to do the same there because I didn't quite get this one right. So I'm going to do redstone, repeater. I feel better about that design actually, even if it's still not quite right, it's better. Then I'm going to redstone, and repeater. Right, so now let me just carve this out so that it all looks uniform so we can see if there's any issues beyond. So now if I go, what have we got? Have we got light up here? Yeah, we got light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty all of these batteries. I'm just going to get rid of all of the energy sources that we have so far. So we can do one final absolute test. Okay, everybody ready for this? Ooh, okay. That appears to have some, I was going to say that has something in it, it's lying to me. And this one does as well. Right, okay, so they should now all be switched off. There is nothing generating energy up there, and therefore we have no power on our bulb. Okay, so now what we're going to do, G Handbook, you need to go to education.minecraft.net, education.minecraft.net online, and check out what you need to get Minecraft Education Edition there. Education Edition requires Office 365 Edu account, which you may have as part of being part of a school, a library, an after-school club. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you might have access to one, colleges, universities, that sort of stuff. Otherwise, it's not available. It's only available if you have Office 365 Edu. Neri's with us. Hi, Neri. Happy weekend. We've actually just realised why your suggestion was so important. And if you hadn't joined us before the last few minutes, which is what, that's 2 o'clock. Yeah, that's 2 hours we've been going, and we got to the very end and realised that that thing that Neri told us about the 3, anyway, that's the 3 deep hoppers, that was important. So yeah, you got us, Neri. So what we're going to do is we're at the final test. So we're going to do, oops, what am I doing? I want to do clear my inventory. Then I want to go for a cart, and this is it. This is the test. This is the final. And we're going to put a cart there and push it. Then we're going to put the second cart there and push it. So that should give us our on system, which means that our waves are working. Yes, so we've got the C coming in. Let's just appreciate that for a minute. We've got the C coming in and the C going out. The C coming in and the C going out then creates a wave system, which If we watch our wave system there, we are using pistons and redstone to generate movement. That movement gives us leaves in a dropper, a hopper. And those leaves represent kilowatts of energy. Each one gives us a kilowatt of energy. With enough energy, we will eventually be able to, each of these will reach the grid. These represent their access to the national grid. That national grid then takes that electricity and powers this house up here. It's not technically a house, it's just a bulb. And so we should very shortly, with enough wave power, we should keep an eye on that bulb, keep an eye on the waves, back and forward. Any minute now, we should get power. We could be here a while, folks. Can you see the bulb because of my camera? I'm just going to do that. I think that's where the... Yeah, so we can see the bulb where the cow is. I don't know what we've got to do to get that power. It's not emptying to anywhere. Tell me we've got enough power already. I'm just going to double check why this isn't working. It's almost. Am I missing? Maybe it just doesn't. Maybe again the redstone design. I tell you what we probably need. And I might be wrong. I'm just going to put... Yeah, that's not going to work. So actually that is where they need to be. Is there. Look at that. That works. Okay, so it was purely a design issue. There we go. Let's just do this again. It's because it's going up. Right, okay, I see what it's doing. So that was just a little design issue. Let's try this again. Let's put that there. We're almost done. And then I'll go back and I'll retest. Two more. I'm also going to build the barrier again to make it stop doing that thing with wasted energy. Because otherwise it is a waste of energy if we're just getting spillage. So I'm just going to do that. And then we'll empty the machines. We'll stop the machines, we'll empty them and we'll start again. So let me just stop the machine. Oh, test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that should stop the machines, which allows me to empty. I need to empty the batteries. Remember the batteries being the last ones in the ground. There. Did I get the very first one? No. Okay. So the batteries being the very last hopper, that's what we're using as a battery. There we are. Right, so none of those are working, so let's try this one more time. Light bulbs off, none of these are working. Tidal system's stopped for whatever reason. We're going to go and put carts on here and we're going to get again. Okay, drum roll, this is it. I know this is it. I'm confident this time. Right, run that and... This is purely for timing. Run that. So let's go see. So when we go around the corner, we have the waves coming in, waves going out. We create the wave machines. We're getting kilowatts of energy in the form of leaves. and we are getting energy build-up, which will eventually give us power. Let's just keep an eye on this. And we've set ticking areas, so all of this works even when we're on the other side of the map. Because when we finish this Toybox, we're going to have a system of different like biomass, wind energy, etc. It's all going to work together. Come on, don't let me down. Not again. Please don't tell me that I've just missed. Are they just not generate? I mean, what are we... Yeah, it's 21, 22, 23. Is it just taking its time? Maybe we need lots of... Oh, there we go. I just wasn't patient enough, folks. Look. Ta-da! There's our light going on. Whew! Right, okay. I just wasn't patient enough. It takes a lot of energy to make that happen. I could probably just move... To make that easier, I could move the repeaters back one. Here's the thing, though. Here's the beauty of the machine, and this is where it was really, really important. Is if I now go into here and I switch the machine off, oops, if I switch the machine off, so we're just switching the tide off. What we mean is the tide has gone out, and what we should end up with is a depletion in that energy, and this bulb should go out. So over time, there we are, tide's gone out and the energy's gone off. We've done it. We've done it, we've done it, we've done it, we've done it, we've done it. It's only taken us like 9 streams. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we have in this wonderful... That's a big boom, Barry Mock, right? We've done it. I'm going to fix that up so it looks like a little machine down there, and I'm going to get rid of this demo one. But basically, to explain what's happening is we have a machine that when switched on makes the tide go in and out. When it's switched off, it stops the tide. When the tide comes in and out, a machine over here generates the movement of that tide and says, fine, give me electricity from that, registered as... oak leaves, each oak leaf being a kilowatt of energy, which is constantly replenished by this, which clones this, and just means that we've constantly got that endless energy from that movement. That then gets filtered down into what we're calling the battery. The battery holds it and makes this power the light above. A series of these light the battery above, the houses above. However, when the battery stops, when the tide stops, we summon chests, which are told by this little Neri invention to empty the battery. So the batteries are emptied when the tide stops. It's took another 2 hours and 9 previous streams or something like that, but it's such good news. And now that we've finished that, we can now combine using an AND gate or an OR gate. I think an OR gate is more sensible. Our working hydroelectric power, so when it rains we don't have to worry whether the tide's off, because we'll still end up with energy because we'll have enough high water pressure to run a hydroelectric power dam. Over here on the next stream this evening we're going to do wind power, and over here on this platform we're going to do biomass. All of things we've already done, we're just going to put them into one giant toy box, and by the time we're finished, if I just head out to the end, by the time we're finished, we'll have a really nice energy toy box that we can ship out to anyone who wants to learn about what this stuff is. We'll stick some NPCs in, we'll talk about how these things were made, and we'll have a nice briefcase that you can open up, unclip, and you can learn all about renewable energy. I'm going to stop the stream there. It's been a long one. I am starving. Thank you so much for sticking with me and helping me through this. Without you, I genuinely wouldn't have had the thought processes that I've had to get it done. I'll tidy this up. And tonight at 6 o'clock BST, British summertime, we will rejoin for biomass. See you there. Thanks, folks.